Hey, today I'm going to show you how to take Cornell Notes. The first thing we're going to look at is Chapter 1, which is your first unit, and then the first section we're going to work on is the Out of Africa section. So what you're going to do is, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to put the date. Today's September 4th, so I'm going to write 9/4, because that's the day that I'm working on it. I'm going to write in this top little margin box, period 1, because that's the period that we're going to be working on, because there's 6 periods in AP World History, and period 1 is the first section, and chapters 1 and 2 correlate with that. So that will help later on when you have to study for the AP exam. First unit, first is chapter 1, okay? And the first section you're going to do is Out of Africa. First migrations, and that's from page 11. Let me just double check before I go. Open to page 11 to page 20. Now don't get scared, because there is a big map. There are large maps in here that you are going to have to look at, so don't just zoom right by them, but it is until page 20. So this section of notes, or tonight's notes, is going to be from page 20 to the top here. The ways we are is going to be tomorrow's reading section. So on my notes, I'm going to put 2:20. All right, so looking at the features of the text, you're going to see here that it says out of Africa, then into Eurasia, into Australia, into Americas, into the Pacific. When you preview the text, you're going to see that it has captions, and the captions correlate with the images or the maps, so you don't want to bypass them. Something that is interesting about it, Bro, I need you to be quiet for a second, okay? You're going to see in the text, they have seeking the main point. What arguments does this chapter make for paying serious attention to human history before the coming of civilization, and civilizations in quotation marks. We're going to go over that next week, why civilizations in quotation marks, because that's an argument historians have. But you're going to want to use this to help you take your notes. So you're going to be looking for things that catch your attention about human history that helped form or create civilizations. So in your notepad or on your loose leaf paper, you're going to break up your notes into sections. Okay, here are going to be your questions. Here is going to be your notes. And down here is going to be your summary. Luckily, your book is broken up. That's going to allow you to develop questions. So you can form a question from here. So paying a serious attention to human history before the coming of civilization. What events took place that allowed for humans to create civilization? That question here, you would write there. You also have a map, not a map, a timeline. It's still summer vacation, right? It's the last day. You have an exam tip here. Global migration patterns of the early humans are an important concept in world history, also see mapped on page 16 and 17. You can turn that into a question to answer in your notes. The ways humans have interacted with their environments are key theme on the AP exam. You have here, what was the sequence of human migration across the planet? So the first sequence you're going to look at is into Eurasia. So your notes here would have into Eurasia, and then you would take notes based on the sequence of human migration across the planet. So you're kind of theming your notes based on what the guided questions here or exam tips here, how have humans interacted with the human environmental interaction. So the huge beautiful map that shows you the migration out of Africa, which we will be using in class. It is important that you understand the concept of diffusion, including cultural, technological, and biological diffusion. So what diffusion occurred in these areas? That's a question. What types of diffusion occurred technologically, biologically? You would write the question here, and you would answer it in the notes section. Notice there's limited space. You are not rewriting the text. Now, something else you need to keep in mind, and I kind of skipped over, I should have went there first. In your text, at the end of each chapter, you have the chapter review. Notice it doesn't say vocabulary. You don't need to know the definition of vocabulary words. What? You don't need to know the definition? You need to know the significance of vocabulary. What is the significance of the Venus figurines? What is the significance of the trance dance? What is the significance of diffusion? What is the significance of the Bantu migration? These things should be covered in your notes. Something that's important. Why do you write the page numbers on here? Great question. 11 to 20. Now, before I read, I can go and look and see what pages I have vocabulary for. So I should see Dreamtime, I should see the Venus figurine, I should see Clovis culture, I should see a megafaunal extension, Austrianism migrations, and those words I should have, and I should have noted in my notes. When I have them in my notes, I want to underline them or highlight them or square them so that I know that there's something important in my notes that I should pay attention to. Each day or each section should have their own page of notes. So it's basically each day based on the chart that I created for you, which we'll go over in class. Okay?